Hello, ladies and gents. Today we'll talk about remote influence once again because remote influence is a very, very interesting topic and is also a viable game to persuade people from a distance. So you just relax completely and preferably listen to a hypnosis program that will trigger your ability to remote influence. It will instill you years or decades of experience, condensed experience, into your own mind. And then you will relax completely and just visualize that you have the upper hand over a discussion, over a deal, over a circumstance. You will have the upper hand, so to speak. You will be able to persuade people in order to close sometimes $1 million sales, or persuade somebody to love you, to be fond of you, to love you for the matter. And remote influence is like a nuclear reaction. It's like a chain reaction. Basically, you just focus, blank your mind out completely, and it takes a couple of minutes, just a couple of minutes, to impose your will onto others. And others will have to abide. They will have to abide to your own needs and wants if you know how to orchestrate your thoughts and just cast your thoughts to the other said person, somebody who interests you, somebody you are relying on to close a sale or just make them love you. And this cocksucker will love you, there is no doubt about it. Because what you do, in a sense, is persuade somebody in their absence. They will have no clue that you impose your will to them because they will think it's their idea, that it is their originating idea in their minds, and they will have no other option than to abide. But you have to persuade them as if they were present. You don't have to screw up if you use a deep trance meditation audio like Remote Charmer, Psionic Charmer, or Psionic Alpha. This trilogy of programs is very potent and powerful. I've seen people making a lot of mistakes when it comes to remote influence. They just use crude affirmations that don't cut the mustard. You have to have a specific mindset and be in a tranquil, very relaxed, serene, focused state of mind in order to instigate a dialogue between this person that interests you and you. It's like a discussion, but it is happening remotely. They will have no other idea that this is happening. They will have no clue that you are trying to persuade them from a distance because they don't believe in remote influence. And that is the ace in your sleeve. Somebody who doesn't believe in remote influence is very easy to persuade because people who know about remote influence have their radar open. The radar is open 24/7, and they are very savvy and experienced in the realms of remote influence. And you just commence a discussion with them. Just focus deeply, bring that person, the image of this person in your mind. After you have listened to Remote Charmer, and then you will realize that this power is transmissible, this power is for real. And just establish a connection with their minds. It's very easy as long as you can uphold the image of this person in your mind. They will have to connect with you. Uh, it's not dependent on them whether you connect or not. It's depending on you, on your own inner psychic reserves, which you already have, but they remain to be activated with a deep trance hypnosis program like a remote charmer, as I said earlier. Don't go out in a war and have no armor. Without armor, you're nothing. You have to entrain the mind first in order to condition your very own mind. Have these hypnotic directives instilled in you and then establish a connection with the other person. As I said earlier, it's a simple meditation. It takes a couple of minutes a day to persuade somebody to do your bidding. And lo and behold, when you see them next time, when you physically meet them, they will have to abide to just about anything you have to say, because you know a priori what happens when you meet them. You will know what questions they ask you, you will know what words will pop in their mind, and just have to be a good listener. Be a good listener and just counterattack the person with the questions you already have answered inside your own mind beforehand, before this even occurs. As said earlier, people are not aware that remote influence exists, and that just is an ace in your sleeve. They will have no other option than to follow your command, because you answered their questions in their subconscious mind before you met them, and when you physically meet them, you just reconfirm that this is what they will expect from such a discussion. And they will say, oh, this idea was already on my mind. This person just validated me. And they will be hypnotically driven to your needs and wants, your objectives, and your agenda. They will say, wow, this person is fantastic. He knows me, she knows me. Oh, this is something incredible. I really fancy these people. This kind of people are hard to meet. They are hard to interact with. No, this person is different. This person tickles my fancy because what I thought already has been answered in a physical interaction. So it makes perfect sense to answer their questions they already have with visualization. We just blank your mind down completely, and once you're propelled by a remote charmer, you will see this person talking to you and having their concerns, their predicaments ready to be answered remotely. You remotely answer their questions, and next time when you physically meet them in presence, you will say the very same things you told them already, having a discussion before they met you. Alright? Makes perfect sense. They will love you for that. Do it again and again and again. You will become prolific and efficient in solving out any predicament or problem you have about meeting and attracting that special person that monopolizes your interest. Do it one by one. Don't try to mass influence people, although it will work in the passage of time. Once you become more prolific with it, they will be persuaded en masse, and you will become a demagogue of the crowd. You will go out, and if you're a public speaker, you will face the crowd and know what they are feeling because you visualize it a priori. As I said before, you're not alone, you're influenced by the sheer desire to persuade them, and you're hypnotically driven with remote charmer. It takes just one or a couple of sessions to acclimatize yourself in the remote influence process. And it's very interesting. You will be very hooked. I do that almost daily when I don't do this, I just recharge my batteries in order to do this, to go through this ritualistic process. As I said before, I launch the program once a month, recharge my batteries, and then I already feel the influential effect of remote charmer eventuating within me, pragmatizing within me, feeling the power, and then I just close my eyes and when I'm done with the program and envision what exactly this person will tell me when we physically meet. And you will get about 3 out of 5 questions they have about you. 3 out of 5 words, 4 out of 5, and then 5 out of 5, depending on the length of your discussion or your interaction. And you will be a perfect interlocutor, a perfect image in their minds. Despite your flaws, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, remote charmer works because it gives you, this recording gives you the tidbits, information, and hypnotic inductions which register deep in the subconscious mind in order to build a remote influence character, somebody who is empowered by the sheer power of the will. And then you have a reason to influence people. Just make it a habit. It only takes a couple of minutes a day to visualize how this interaction with other people will go. How will it end up at the end of the day? And you will have more control of this process. And just be a good listener. You don't have to start bubbling words when you physically meet them. You just have to be a good listener and answer the already answered questions you gave them through visualization remotely. And this unsuspected person will succumb to you. Will succumb to you.